Hi guys, welcome to Corona Special Series by LDFS. I am Dr. Lakshmy. In my last video, we have discussed about expense tracker. Basically, it is to track your expenses, and we have also given a freebie in that. If you have not availed that yet, kindly watch that video. We have attached the link in the description below. You can see that and avail the freebie. Now, after I hope you have started doing the tracking. Now, after doing the tracking, the next step comes is reducing our expenses. Today's video, we will be discussing about one of such major expenses, that is rent. We will be discussing about how we can reduce rent. Surprised, right? We'll be discussing that in detail in today's video. But before we proceed into that, kindly like and subscribe to our channel and share it to maximum friends and mainly your juniors who have just started the clinic or who are planning to start the clinic. It will be a great help for them. We are trying to increase our community so that we can help maximum dentists as possible. Kindly help us reach that. Now, coming back to our topic today, how to reduce our rent. Now, I know everybody will be surprised, and the two things that comes to your mind when you actually think about reducing rent is first, it is not in our hands to reduce the rent. The owner has to agree to it. So, how can we reduce the rent? That's the first thing. Second thing that comes to our mind is my owner will never listen to reducing the rent. He will never reduce the rent whatsoever. So it is complete waste of time if I am planning to have a discussion with him. These are the two thought process which I think majority will feel. Even I had the same thought process. These 2 points were something which bothered me a lot. During the first wave of corona, I was having this discussion of reducing the rent with my husband. We were discussing how we can work it out and all those things. And at that time, I these were the two things that came to my mind. First is why he will reduce, and second is he will never listen. My owner will never listen. I was so confident, rather overconfident, that it won't work. He will never listen to it. But still, we thought we'll give it a try. We'll try and fail rather than not trying at all. So we made a plan and we executed it. Now, to my surprise, I was proven wrong. I was completely wrong. My rent has been reduced. And I would really like to share all the things which I did, my plan, what I did. We did an extensive research about it and then we approached the owner. So I would really like to share the whole process, what I went through and what I did, what discussions I had, and I hope it will help you also achieve the same. But before we proceed further, I would really love to know, have you guys tried this thing, tried to reduce the rent with your discussion? Did you had any discussion with your owner? If you had, then how was it? What was the discussion like? What happened? I would really love to know. Your feedback is very valuable to us. Kindly comment below so that we can have more discussions in our meetings. Now, the whole process of approaching the owner, reducing the rent, and everything, we have divided it into two parts. The first part was the groundwork which we had to do before we meet the owner. So that is the first part. And in the second part, we'll discuss about how and how should we approach and what all details should be discussed in that crucial meeting. See, reducing the rent is also important to us because that's a fixed expense every month which is happening. And like the scenario which is right now, this will continue for some more weeks. Sorry, rather some more months. So if you have to survive more, then we have to cut short all the expenses whichever we can. And this is one of the major expenses for majority of us. Now the two parts we have divided into series of videos. Today is the one video, and then we'll be releasing it next week and next week. In today's video, we'll be discussing about the groundwork which we need to do before we meet our owner. So in this, the first point is to know your financial capacity. Now, what do I mean by this? Let me explain that. Do a thorough check with your accounts and everything. How much can you spare? How much fund do you have? If the current lockdown scenario continues for few more months, what will you do? How will you pay your rent? And how much can you pay? How much money do you have? How much fund is there in your account? So these are the things which you need to research about. Like, I'll give you an example. Imagine you can spare around 50,000 rupees for your rent for some months. Now, if your rent is around 15,000, then you will be able to survive only 3.5 months. That means you have only 3.5 months of buffer money to spare on your rent. That is the money you have. Now, when we have a clarity like that, when we are going ahead with the discussion, we know that if the rent is reduced from 15,000 to at least 10,000, then you will be able to survive for 5 months if the same current scenario if it continues. So like that, you have some money, some calculation in mind of how much can you spare, how much money do you have, how much fund is there, how much concession you want, so that you can survive these tough times easily. That is what you need to focus on. Focus on the fund. Try to find from where all you can get, how much money can you get, and how much is there, how much is spare, how much is the extra money that you have. If we have little or no income also from the clinic, then also you should be able to survive for few months. So for that, how much concession do you need? That is the first thing to do, to know our financial capacity. Second is to be realistic and empathetic. We have to be empathetic towards our owner also. We are not here to take advantage of the situation. We are here so that we will have this discussion and it will help us ease our burden. It will help us survive these tough times. That is what we are looking at. So if you're thinking that he will agree to no rental payment for a few months or during the lockdown, then that is something I would say that it is an unrealistic expectation. Usually owners won't be agreeing to that. So rather than that, be realistic, be empathetic, think from their side also, and have a plan in mind that how much reduction is possible for you and it will help you, rather than thinking that we want to live there rent free, or you want around 50 or 75% discount. Those are some things which are unrealistic expectations. So when we set some unrealistic expectation and we go and ask them, the discussion won't go so well. So rather than that, have a realistic plan ready. How much can you go? Now you know the financial capacity of how much you can pay, and according to that, make the calculation and have it before you when you are doing that discussion, that how realistic it is and how, why are you asking that much discount and how is it. Think like that and be realistic, and then make the plan. This is the second point which we have to do in the groundwork scenario before meeting our owner. Now there are few more points which we will be discussing in my next video. I hope you like today's video and you will start doing your groundwork soon. Thank you so much guys. Until next time, bye, and don't forget to send a hi on this number. We'll add you to the special broadcast list and we'll send you on WhatsApp any free material which we are releasing online. Thank you so much guys.